Hey, so I figured I'd make a quick video showing you what you get in the new building pack. All the new buildings, the topology's fixed, the textures are fixed. I also touched up weird Z fighting and all these things that I noticed in the previous pack, added little details that make the building a little bit more realistic. Each building in the new pack has a little roof access point, except for this one. And they have vents and grids and stuff from the extra city pack that I released a couple months ago. A lot of that stuff is in this pack as well. The two new buildings that I added are these skyscraper buildings. They're like more modern. So these are a little bit more old school and traditional. And then this one is, it's got kind of like the warbly glass that you would see on a skyscraper, which I think is a really cool effect. It also has a little bit of dimensionality, like you can see through the windows and kind of like down the hallways there, which I think adds a little bit more to the realism. Look at that warbliness, looks so good. This one is like an unfinished one. I had some fun making scenes with this one where it was like this abandoned or like surreal environment. You know, you can kind of use it for something like that, or just want to fill up a city. Some buildings are not always finished. There's always a construction that just seems to never end. But yeah, some billboards, do whatever you want with them, separate them, move them to another building. Just like with the old building pack, I had like the slider to control lights, and I have the same thing here. If you go into the building glass texture, there's two glass textures, just to keep in mind. There's one for these main kind of traditional buildings, and then there's a different one for the skyscraper glass. And the only difference is that this one is a little bit tinted blue, and it has like some of the warbliness, if that's a word. But if we go back to the kind of like the original buildings, we can see here it's all generally the same. I just kind of cleaned it up a bit, and there's this one that's called night lights, and this one is all the way up, which means the sun is up. That's kind of my logic, was like if it's at 1, that means the sun is out and you don't need it. But if you turn it down, you can see now there is this texture that kind of repeats across all of them. And I try to give it some variety. I try to give it some, what did I do here? I think I fed it through a brick texture so that it breaks it up a little bit more and just kind of gives you some nice variety. And this is a texture that I have in the building window pack that I released again like a couple months ago. And it's kind of using the textures from there and just, you know, routed in a way that makes them glow a little bit, and then also keeps some of the like reflectiveness of the glass underneath there. The last thing is the skyscraper glass, so you can see a little bit more complicated, but not by much. Same thing with the brick texture, and it all comes into here. So if we turn this down, and then gives it a bit of realism. Maybe the lights shouldn't go all the way to the top because maybe the top floors wouldn't have anyone in there. But yeah, that's the new building pack. I would love to see how you use these assets and how you use them in your own artwork. I've gotten a lot of tags, and people have DM'd me really cool ways that people have used the previous building pack. So I hope that this one can provide additional value and additional uses in filling up your scenes, and just like being a bit of a helping hand when you're creating these cityscapes and you're trying to fill them with buildings. I know it can be a pain in the butt. Anyway, thank you and enjoy the pack. And of course, send me any feedback if you have any. If you have any issues, you can send me a message on social media anywhere that you follow me. Or if you're a patron, you have access to the Discord server. We have a special channel for asset help there. But I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. I'll see you in the next one.